Hey, what's up guys? It's Texmer talking to you here, and today I want to compare the M2 MacBook Air against the M2 MacBook Pro. Yes, these two computers came out on this WWDC 2022, and those were kind of shocking. I was expecting it, but there were a lot of people that weren't saying that these two computers were coming. So yes, we got them, and now which computer should you buy? Because it's a very interesting question. These two computers are separated by around $100. So should you get the base model MacBook Air with the M2 chip, the new redesign, and all of these amazing new features, or should you go for the $100 more expensive M2 MacBook Pro, which for more than $100 you get the old design, the old display, you just get a fan and better performance a tiny bit. So which computer should you buy? Well, in this video I will answer all of those questions, but if you want a little spoiler, I think you should buy the M2 MacBook Air. But if you want to know why you should buy the M2 MacBook Air, keep watching, because I will explain to you by details. So if you like these types of content, do not forget to leave a like, subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate your support, guys. I really do. So let's get started. As you know, the M2 MacBook Air came out and shocked everyone. With this new redesign, this M2 MacBook Air is amazing. It's beautiful. It's light. No more the wedge design. Now it looks more like my M1 Max MacBook Pro right here. It's squared off on the edges. So it looks cool. It's very, very thin. It's almost like, according to PhD description, it's more like two iPad Pros stacked together. It's very, very beautiful, very thin, very light, and it's amazing. I love the new colors, the new starlight, the new space gray, the new blue tint, which is the midnight blue. It's amazing. It's a very beautiful color. I will get an M2 MacBook Air to review and to unbox, and I will get it on the new midnight blue color. So if you are excited for that, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss those videos. But the M2 MacBook Air is incredible. With the new MagSafe port, with the new display, which is now 500 nits of brightness, before it was 450, and now it has the notch. So you might be thinking, well, the notch is not that good. No, it's not good having the notch. I disagree, because having the notch allows you to expand the screen to the top of all of the display, so no more borders. The notch is it's like not an add-on, so it allows you to get even more display than you would. Normally, when you are using your computer, you won't notice it. When you are browsing the web, watching videos, you won't notice it that it's there. The software hides it very well. And then when you need that extra real estate for your menu bar that doesn't take the other space for the 16:9 ratio, because the display is a 16:10 ratio, then it just works. It's just perfect, and I love the fact that this computer comes with a notch. So yes, I don't like the notch per se, but I do like the features that the notch enables. So I don't really care, and I think it's a bonus on top of this computer. Of course, if you compare it to the M2 MacBook Pro news display, which is the old MacBook Pro display, there's no comparison. The two are P3 color gamut, the two are liquid retina displays, but I do think that the M2 MacBook Air display is better, just because the bezels are a lot smaller. So yes, that's my opinion on these two computers in terms of displays. The M2 MacBook Air wins it every time. And that's a recurring theme during this video, because if you compare all of the aspects between the M2 MacBook Air and the M2 MacBook Pro, you will see that in every aspect the M2 MacBook Air wins. And that's very strange, because the M2 MacBook Air is $100 cheaper. So what do I mean by that? Well, if you spec these two computers for the same spec, which let's say it's $1,500 or $1,499, then you will see that the M2 MacBook Air has better design, more ports, it has the best display, it has the better speaker system, it's smaller, thinner, and it has a bigger display. Then the display is better, like I told you. The only thing that is not as good is the sustained performance, which if you go by last year's comparison between the two M1 and M1 MacBook Pro, then really the difference is like 5%, so you don't need to worry about that. And the other thing is battery life. The M2 MacBook Pro is rated for 20 hours and the M2 MacBook Air is rated for 18. And of course, touch bar. Do you want the touch bar? Then you have the option for the M2 MacBook Pro. But even people that want the touch bar are seeing that the M2 MacBook Air is such a good deal that they don't really care. And of course, in my opinion, the function row from the keys, this one, is way better than the touch bar. Just way better, because the touch bar could freeze, could give you problems, could, I don't know, get destroyed. It's a display, it's an OLED display, it could go bad. So yes, in my opinion, the M2 MacBook Air wins in almost every category between this comparison. And so it makes sense that for $100 less, you will get more. And so you should go for the M2 MacBook Air. The only thing that I would advise you though with the M2 MacBook Air is the price ladder. It's very, very fast that you can go up and spend like $24.99, which is the maximum MacBook Air. So it's very easy to do it. If you go for Apple's website, the M2 MacBook Air starts at $11.99, $200 more than the M1 MacBook Air, which is still available on Apple's website for $9.99. When you start speccing this computer out, the M2 MacBook Air starts at $11.99 like I told you, but you have an option for an extra $100 for the non-binned CPU and of course M2. Then you can go for more RAM until 24 gigabytes of RAM, which costs you extra $400, and then you can go for an extra 2 terabytes of space and speccing out accordingly. So if you max out this computer, you will see that you will spend $24.99. That's a very, very expensive computer. So yes, that's actually very expensive and MacBook Pro with the M1 Pro and M1 Max territory. So be careful with that. If you end up spending almost $2,000, consider going for the M1 Pro base model MacBook Pro 14-inch, because that will get you an even better display, in my opinion, an even better design and more ports, and especially better performance. Another thing that you have to be careful with the M2 MacBook Air is the power bricks. These two power bricks cost money. Like you can see that the 35 watt dual port power brick costs $20 and the 65 watt supercharge fast charging power brick costs $20. So if you want to buy these two bricks, you have to choose between those two and you will have to spend $20. Then if you don't want to spend it, you will have the normal 35 watt brick that doesn't do much. So I mean, maybe that's something that Apple couldn't fit on the budget for the baseline MacBook Airs, but at least if you spec it out until the base model CPU, or at least if you upgrade the CPU and you upgrade the RAM and the storage, you will be able to get those two for free. So you have to choose between one of those. Do you want 35 dual ports or do you want the 65 fast charging brick? So you have to choose. But I mean, it's $20. It's in a $1,000 or $1,200 computer. You won't notice that much a difference. You pay extra for it. So is that bad? Yes, it's an extra $20 that you have to spend, but I understand it. With the inflation and price rising, I understand why Apple did it. So yes, in my opinion, spec with the midnight blue for the non-binned M2 with 1 terabyte of storage, and of course, in my opinion, 16 gigabytes of RAM should be enough. So if you look at it, it's very expensive, though it costs $18.99. But I do think it's a good buy. In my opinion, it's a good buy. It doesn't get too close to the $2,000 limit that, in my opinion, starts to make more sense to go for the M1 Pro base model with the 14-inch design. So what are your favorite specs? Let me know in the comments down below, and which spec would you buy? So yes, these two devices are insane. These two devices are insane. The M2 MacBook Air and even the other MacBook Pros are insane. The Apple Silicon lineup now is so good that, in my opinion, you don't need to worry for which computer is a good buy and which computer is not a good buy. Right now, you have to worry between which one is the better buy. And in my opinion, the M2 MacBook Air is the better buy between these two computers. There's no chance that I will tell you to buy the M2 MacBook Pro. Skip those computers. That computer doesn't make any sense right now, in my opinion, for Apple to release it. I know why Apple did it. Probably they have some chassis laying around in some storage house and they have to get rid of it. Or there's probably some people that like the touch bar, or even the fact that the Pro name for the MacBook Pro lineup starts at $12.99. That's probably it. But the M2 MacBook Air, like I told you, is the way better deal, and that's the computer that I will buy to review. Of course, Like I was telling you, the M2 MacBook Air with this new design is insanely cool, insanely beautiful, and I love it so much. Thanks Apple for releasing such a cool computer. I will compare it against my M1 Max MacBook Pro, and if you are excited for that, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel, because I will do all types of comparisons, since design comparisons, since performance tests, and of course display tests, sound tests, and everything that you can imagine of and want. Let me know in the comments down below which comparisons do you want more, and of course, let me know in the comments down below which computer is your favorite, the M2 MacBook Air or the M2 MacBook Pro. Let me know your reasons down below, and of course, while you're there, do not forget to leave a like and subscribe to my channel. I would really appreciate your support. This has been Tech Summer talking to you here. Bye.